Hello, welcome to my presentation on the internship project for Christopher Proulx in the year 2025. The basic overview is this is an internship and a change project based on culture building and chronic absenteeism reduction in the Riverside Township School District from May to December in 2025. I will be working with my mentor on one of her philosophies, fish, based on a book that studied the working environment of a fish market in Seattle, Washington, and developed a leadership philosophy that is more of a servant leadership philosophy. The culture building initiative at Riverside also is utilizing the Jostens Renaissance, which I'm just learning about and will investigate further during the course of this internship and report back on what it is and how best to implement it. Additionally, I'll be using the New Jersey positive behavioral systems of support in schools and basing my absenteeism reduction on the CUSAC recommendations for Riverside, as well as the NJDOE school report data. I will aim to create a calendar of events and professional development that support this positive culture building initiative. I will attend meetings that share best practices in education and keep a record of those. I will survey staff and students both at the beginning and the end, and that's part of my SMART goal. And I will document the blue ribbon application process that Riverside has been successful in receiving. I will also learn how to best to make newsletters and social media posts from my mentor and how often she does that. SMART Goal 1 is the staff morale improvement. There's a missing T there. By December 2025, at the conclusion of my internship at Riverside Township School District, I'll design a positive culture change initiative that focuses on improving stakeholder relationships, reducing teacher stress, and decreasing student behavior incidents. Success will be measured through pre- and post-intervention school climate surveys with a targeted 15% increase in positive responses regarding school climate indicators. So this is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. I will point out this is a continuation of an ongoing initiative at Riverside Township School District. So this already aligns with the school board and the superintendent's goals and mission and vision because it's an ongoing endeavor. SMART goal number 2 is the chronic absenteeism reduction, and this is based on a CUSAC recommendation for a corrective action plan that was just received. Even though they have shown improvement, they still need to reduce chronic absenteeism. So the SMART goal says to reduce chronic absenteeism at Riverside Middle School by implementing a multi-tiered approach that includes a designated absenteeism advocate, an after-school homework help tied to credit recovery, and targeted attendance incentive programs through PBIS, Positive Behavior in Schools, and Jostens Renaissance. Specific, this will target chronic absenteeism and academic recovery. Measurable, reduce the chronic absenteeism rate by 25%, which is lofty, by the end of the 25-26 school year using the New Jersey School Performance Report data, as I mentioned in the previous slide. It's achievable by identifying students early, the 10% early. There's a hope that you can intervene and divert them from that at risk, from those high high number of absences. This is relevant because it aligns with the goals of the district and the superintendent, and it is time bound because it sets the goal to happen in the next year and a half. So this started. This all came as a result of coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic. There were a noticeable increase in the behavioral challenges. Also, CUSAC results showed a drastic chronic absenteeism and there was a number of SSDS, student safety data systems incidences, which is behavioral incidences and disciplinary incidents. So there was a need for systemic culture change. The admin team got together and they decided that New Jersey Positive Behavioral Support in Schools was a good way to go. They had heard about Jostens and they began implementing that. And they also were aware of the continued teacher shortage and teacher burnout. That's a challenge across the state and across the nation. And the funding changes to the New Jersey public schools as a result of the Abbott v. Burke New Jersey Supreme Court case. Again, I'll mention my mentor shared with me the FISH philosophy, which is based on the 4 principles in this slide. The play, foster creativity and joy in your daily work. Make their day, create meaningful moments and celebrate. Be there, practice mindful presence, which is, very good listening skills. And choose your attitude. Take responsibility for your responses and your emotions. It's evidence-based, and there's a link to a video that interviews the owner of the fish market, and there's an additional side presentation which should, further clarify that. New Jersey Positive Behavior Supports in Schools. Sometimes I'm going to go back. What is it? New Jersey Positive Behavior Support in Schools. Yes. The framework. Continually reflect on the extent to which decision-making centers equity, inclusion, and access. Equity is to each according to their need and from each according to their ability and skills. Draw upon and share resources that support our schools and district partners to make equity-driven policy systems and practice decisions. Practical, I think. Listen to and act upon interest holder input, engage in continuous professional development, reflection, and self-evaluation. Those are the 4 principles that are set forth on the New Jersey Positive Behavior Supports in Schools website. So going back to my mentor, this is a survey that she sent out, and some of the responses that she got, those are the most important and noticeable ones are highlighted in yellow. And this slide was used with her permission. And the last one, I'm just going to read it. It says, "Let me be very frank, Mrs. Follis, that the middle school needs change, and it needs a principal who will actually care about and listen to the students, parents, and teachers." So an administrator that's there and that listens to the stakeholders. So there's the attendance data, which shows the chronic absenteeism. It is demonstrably impacts the academic performance of students. When they don't regularly attend school, it impacts their well-being and their connectedness to the community and the district. There is a use of staff surveys to make sure that you're getting this feedback from the community. And the urgency for any of these initiatives may already exist. It may just be that there's no avenue for stakeholders to give their opinions. And my mentor and I have already identified that there's a 6th grade orientation that will be happening as the 6th graders move up to 7th grade, and a survey. We will use I will create a survey and administer it to those students under my mentor's supervision to get their feedback about transitioning into the higher grades. The strategic vision development. Long-term culture change is a goal of the district. At the bottom, it says here at Riverside Township School District, we strive to exemplify the level of performance and excellence synonymous with Blue Ribbon Schools by continually working to enhance teaching and learning, school culture, and family community partnerships. So again, there's that Blue Ribbon School. That is a process for applying for that, and I will dive into how that process was achieved and how I might recreate that in a future position. The SSDS data can be revisited to look at if the culture change is having an impact on the number of student behavioral incidences, etc. The stakeholder benefits are when you have students that are more engaged, they are thinking about their future. They have their career paths outlined. They are engaged in extracurriculars. Their academics improve. And they become ethical citizens as part of a future democracy. Integration with the district mission, yes, I've mentioned that there are specifically 3 goals that are on the district website, and aligning all of the administrative programs and initiatives with those district goals and superintendent goals is very important. The engagement strategy will work on the student ambassador program, see if there are any student board of education members, attendance incentives, and academic support. Specifically, my mentor has mentioned what I called a diversionary program, where if a student, or an intervention program, where if a student is shown to have an escalating number of absences, the truancy officer will go and sort of negotiate how that can be remedied, and say that student can attend academic support programs and to earn back some of that the missing time. Additionally, there's a staff stipend position that will be created to support that attendance initiative. There's also a need for a staff member that can collect media and pictures and videos and create social media posts and regularly update and release the newsletter. And in staff meetings, there's a practice of celebrating and sharing best practice. Oh, and the goal there for Riverside Township School District will sustain the positive, productive, and inclusive environment it has been building for its students, staff, and families by continuing its high levels of communication, transparency, collaboration, and celebration with all stakeholders, expanding our district student programming to increase involvement in all activities, including positive behavioral support systems and mentoring opportunities, continuing to build improvements in the areas of consistency and cohesion across the district. Specifically, what jumped out about this goal to me is the student programming and including them in the activities. So as students look at career paths, if there was a career path related to media creation or a broadcast journalism, that would tie directly with the newslettering and the social media posts and things that the district is already practicing to communicate with stakeholders and community members, can also be integrated and aligned with career and technical education, CTE. There's a need to have short-term wins to celebrate Teachers of the Year, Lessons of the Week, Students of the Month, sharing on the website the colleges that seniors are attending in the next year, celebrating athletes that achieve excellence, and having a regular report on the creative arts events and exhibitions. Right in this slide is a link to a personalized YouTube congratulation from the